What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Feud. I'm Stone, followed by my co-hosts Mason Reed and Paul Cotton, as usual. And today we
What
are
up?
doing a
What
special,
up?
special, very special Thanksgiving preview of the three games that we are having to watch. And we are just going to start things off with the first and obviously the most exciting game of the day. The Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions, baby. A Thanksgiving tradition that no one ever wants to watch. So I'm gonna give that over to Paul since he's the bigger Bears fan than I am, and I'm gonna let him rant about our Chicago Bears.
Yes, I just want to start this off by saying happy Thanksgiving, guys. We here at the Fantasy Few very thankful for being able to do all this, put weekly videos out for you guys, and we hope that you do enjoy it. So yeah, keep coming back for us. But to get into this, and this is tough. As a Bears fan, I love to watch every game. It doesn't matter if we're 1-7 or 7-1. Without Justin Fields. Andy Dalton, he's obviously going to be the starter. He did well for us coming in after the injury to the ribs of Justin Fields.
They're
This
gonna be
game,
better.
yeah, no, but this entire season though, it's not even about winning at this point anymore. It's about progressing the young guys with this team, getting them better, getting them reps. So as far as I'm concerned with the game, it's just going to be another game to watch. There's not going to be a whole bunch of excitement on my side. But I will say, coming into this, I don't think even national television was too excited about it because there's the potential of Andy Dalton versus Tim Boyle. Um, Nobody wants to watch that. I can guarantee
Yeah.
you. So today, though, they did get some good news. Detroit did that Jared Goff is on pace to possibly start for them, which could turn into them getting their first win of the season. We've talked about this, Mason specifically this year. Detroit plays hard. They play a lot of teams hard. They've lost at the very end of games the same way Chicago has the last 2 weeks by the defense kind of letting them down. I'd say the biggest heartbreak was Justin Tucker with the 66-yard field goal. But getting into some of the players, this is all fantasy based for you. Start Chicago's defense. I would do it just because it's going up against Detroit. They always have a good showings against Detroit. Obviously, Jared Goff, if he plays, he's always had bad showings against Chicago's defense. He loves to throw interceptions and fumble the ball to him. Now, I will say start Darnell Mooney with pretty high certainty, only because of the fact that regardless of having Justin Fields or Andy Dalton, he's still going to get targets. He had 18 targets, albeit came with like 5 catches, but he had 18 targets in the last game. That's astonishing. David Montgomery, hopefully they get him involved in the run game, but it didn't look like that because Matt Nagy was up to his old tricks, decided to completely abandon the run game. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he's not there any longer. And for me, one sleeper player for the Lions that I would probably start, and this isn't going to be DeAndre Swift because he's not a sleeper in my eyes. DeAndre Swift is a must start almost against any team because of the sheer volume that he gets. But my sleeper start is going to be Khalif Raymond. I think it was back in week 3 or 4. Whenever we played him the first time, he had 2 touchdowns and like 80 yards on us. He kind of torched us because we don't have a true number 2 corner. We don't even have a number 3 corner. We don't have a slot corner. We got Jalen Johnson and a couple safeties. That's about it. But I think that's enough with this game. I don't think too many people are going to be excited to watch it. We're
Well,
going to go over to Las
the,
Vegas versus Dallas.
I want
Okay.
to, yeah, just right before we go, I do want to say, T.J. Hawkinson is someone to keep your eyes out on because it's a play with caution. Because last time he played the Bears, he got shut down, and the Bears have one of the absolute best defenses in the NFL against the tight end because of a guy named Roquan Smith. So if you have T.J. Hawkinson, you might want to
Yeah.
consider not actually playing him this week, as surprising as that sounds.
They allow 7.2 points per game to the tight end position. The Bears do.
Yeah.
So Hawk is not looking like a great play. So if you have somebody else, I suggest starting the other player. But Hawk's good. But one thing I did want to say, sorry about that. That was funny. David Montgomery had a bad week last week. All right, that might make you guys feel shy about starting him this week against Detroit. They are giving up 26.6 points per game to the running back position. I would say that means start David Montgomery. So, yeah, if you want to pair up their defense with David Montgomery, that might be a good call as well.
Yep. Okay. So now moving on to Las Vegas and Dallas.
Like it.
We got a lot of stuff going on in this game with the receivers in Dallas. Amari Cooper already pretty much ruled out with the COVID. He had that 10-day thing that popped up on Saturday, I believe, of last week. So he will not be playing this week at all. And CD Lamb is also kind of questionable. It's weird because Paul's heard reports that he's not going to play, but I've actually heard a report that he might play. So he's still in the air right now. I believe he did not practice today. And if that's the case, that means Cedrick Wilson is going to be a guy he was one of our waiver wire pickups of the week, and I think he's going to get a bulk of the catches against this porous Las Vegas pass defense. Michael Gallup just hasn't looked that great this year, and I think Cedrick Wilson's definitely going to take that receiver one target share, not snaps, but target share.
Well, I will say, Las Vegas Raiders pass defense allows the 6th least points given up on average to the fantasy points for wide receiver.
Well, yeah, that's because you can do whatever you want against that defense. So I guess everyone just rushes touchdowns in against them, huh?
Well, I think it comes from just a couple of games. New York Giants literally only had 5 points against them for wide receivers. And then they played Chicago, and Chicago only had 11.5 points. But other than that, they But like Stone said, they actually have been pretty porous. They have been giving up a decent amount to the wide receivers. It just looks the other way just because of a couple of outliers. But yeah, like I'm with Stone right here. We talked about it previously. Go ahead and give Cedrick Wilson a start. Go ahead. I think he could be good. I think he could be the leading target share. Along with Paul, did you mention it already? Our tight end start?
I did not. I was just about to, though. Dalton Schultz. He's obviously taken over for Blake Jarwin coming off the ACL injury from last year. Everybody thought Jarwin was going to come back as tight end 1 for this team, but Schultz kind of took off. He took it. He hasn't given it back. He's played pretty well. I believe he had 5 catches or 6 catches for his 50 or 60 yards last week. Put up 11 fantasy points, pretty solid. But he's also going up against, like you just said, this porous defense. And for example, me and Mason, we actually just kind of had to do a little, I don't even know what to call it. We had to do a little research trying to figure out whether, I mean, I guess, but disgusting, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the word I was looking for. But we kind of started discussing who we should sit in spite of playing Dalton Schultz, because we have pretty good tight ends, Dallas Goedert, and we have Mike Gesicki going up against Carolina. Carolina's defense has been kind of shaky lately, but even though Dalton Schultz should start and should get a bulk of the receptions, in my opinion, I think he will be probably targeted the most in this offense. It's just one of those things. We don't know if we're going to get the same type of Dak from last week where he just doesn't do anything. We don't know how this offense is going to look, how it's going to run, minus your 2 biggest threats. Maybe they start playing a lot of nickel coverage where you can't really pass the ball a lot and it turns into a run game. These are all kind of factors. But again, me and him both thought we're going to put Schultz in our lineup, and we decided to sit Mike Gesicki.
They're allowing 13.6 points per game to the tight end position. So I think it's an easy start. Just start Dalton Schultz with Amari and CD being out.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it goes without saying, start Zeke, obviously, if you have him, if he's playing for that matter. He's been practicing, though, so he should be good to go. And on the Las Vegas Raiders side of the ball, not much to say there. They've been in the dumps here recently. I think Darren Waller is obviously your must-start, and I think Hunter Renfrow can come back and maybe get a 10-point performance. And really, outside of that, the rest of the team's kind of like meh to me. So if you have Raiders guys rostered, I would stay clear of them for the most part.
I'm giving Renfrow a start.
Yeah,
put him in if you have to. Put him in your flex, like some just said.
He'll come
even
back
a wide
receiver. He'll come back.
I'll start him this week. I think it might be a shootout, guys. Might be a shootout.
It could be. Moving on to Buffalo and New Orleans. And well, just like you said, it could be a shootout. And I was like, Thanksgiving's got to have a shootout, but then you look at Buffalo and New Orleans, and you're like, oh, that probably should be the shootout of all the three games. New Orleans has had this kind of season where they play amazing one game and then absolutely horrible the next. And last I checked, they played absolutely horrible last week. So what are they going to do this week? They're going to play great. So I think this will be a good game for both teams. I think this could be the shootout, even though both teams have pretty good defenses. Josh Allen, he should have a pretty big day. If it's a lot of this thing that hinges on the Saints' success is Alvin Kamara playing. He hasn't practiced again this week, and for that matter, Mark Ingram as well has not practiced. So I want to just throw in there, if both of those guys don't play, you can look to Tony Jones, possibly giving him a start this week, because he's kind of a dynamic little pass catching back that I thought solidified the number 2 spot, but obviously with him on IR most of the season, he didn't really do so, and they went and got Ingram. So this is Tony Jones's. This is his game to show his worth, pretty much. This is his one chance he's got all year.
Guys, I think Josh Allen is going to come back and have a game on prime time. The Saints have been giving up some decent numbers. They allow 30 points a game to the wide receiver position, and they also allow around 20 points a game to the quarterback position. I bet that Josh Allen redeems himself and comes out and just torches it next week. Look for Stephon Diggs. Look for Emmanuel Sanders. You might be able to start Emmanuel Sanders this week if you're in desperate need of a flex, just because he's been questionable the last few weeks. But that's my take on that.
Dawson Knox, too. Don't forget about his name.
Can't forget about Dawson.
That's what I was just going to say. Dawson Knox, he's obviously back from the hand injury. Probably is going to be a top target, just like he was before he got injured for Josh Allen. But again, like we talked about, there's a couple running backs that they might be able to pick up some of the slack. Hopefully they can kind of keep, I guess, the defenses playing solid to where you don't have to just rely on covering the pass, but you also have to play them honest and be able to have to play the run as well. But I also kind of want to start this by saying Trevor Siemian, I jokingly called him an elite game manager a couple weeks ago. I said he's not a guy who's going to get you 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he has not quietly, I guess, but he has loudly shut me up with that take. Yeah. And I don't know if this is something because it's Sean Payton's system compared to where he was in Denver. Sean Payton seems to get the best out of his players, and he's looking like he can be, I don't want to call him an heir apparent to Drew Brees, but he's almost looking like he has this pass offense running better than what Jameis did. I think in the last 2 games, he's had almost 600 yards combined passing and like 5 touchdowns. I think a couple interceptions, but I mean, still, that's pretty good for somebody who I didn't even think should be on a roster, and that there was other players that they should have played rather than him.
Started the year
so
off
with
as
all
a
that
third
being
string.
said, with all that being said, I do believe the Saints have a really good shot at kind of knocking off the Bills in this matchup. Ooh. I think they're the underdogs, obviously. Buffalo is just they're on the ropes right now. They're reeling. The Patriots just took over first place in the division. And this is like what I was talking about with our MVP race. I don't know which you guys will see that episode. I don't know if this is going to be one of those games where Josh Allen steps up in the national spotlight, the last game on Thanksgiving night, where he has an MVP type day. This New Orleans defense, we've seen them. They've played really well against some teams, and they've played really, really poorly against some others. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be Josh Allen kind of shows out 4 or 5 touchdowns, 300 yards.
Make your prediction.
Destroys. My prediction, I'm going to say New Orleans with the upset. I'm going to go 30 to 28. I think New Orleans is going to get it done with the defense. I think they're going to be able to stop all 3 of these running backs of the Buffalo backfield, no matter which one it is. I think the secondary is going to step up, and they're going to obviously not shut down Stephon Diggs, but they're going to limit him to not have such a big day like he's kind of accustomed to, the 7-8 catches for 120 yards. I do think Josh Allen's going to play decent, but I don't think he's going to play to that MVP level that they need him to play at right now, because he's basically what's carrying this team. I know Stone had the he was reserved on thinking that Buffalo could take that next step to be the best team in the AFC. And I think right now down the stretch, they're kind of proving Stone correct. So yeah, that's my take on it.
I think New
Wow.
Orleans also can win. I think that the score now. You guys have to leave a like down below for me, all right? And you're gonna have to subscribe to the channel when you guys come back and rewatch this video, and I have the exact score of the game correct, all right? New Orleans 41, Buffalo Bills 37. So hop back into this.
Wow.
Hop back
That'll
into
be a
this.
fun game to watch.
Yeah, exactly, and it's what's gonna be. It's gonna be a shootout. I'm calling it right now.
I'm gonna get drunk and watch that.
New Orleans will come out here and they will win this game. You guys subscribe to the channel for that, and then also comment down below who you think is going to win all these games, or some fantasy guys are that are going to be popping off on the main stage for us over here. This has been a good special Thanksgiving episode from us at the Fantasy Few, and like Paul said at the beginning, we are truly thankful for you guys coming in and watching all the videos. If you're here, if you're subbed to the channel, thank you so much. We love making these videos for you guys, and I hope that we can keep making these videos for you guys in the future. Really means a lot. Sorry, I keep messing it up, and it's whatever. But
Hey guys,
I can't talk. Mason's gonna say something, and then he's gonna break us out.
No, like Stone said, being thankful. We think that each of you guys that still watch us and comment and just keep up with us, you guys have been growing with us since August. We really appreciate it, and we're really thankful, and we're going to keep doing our best to keep putting out as much content as we can for as long as we can. All right. Paul, do you want to say anything before I get us out of here?
I just want to reiterate what I said at the beginning. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys, your families. We hope you have a great holidays. This for us, like they've both mentioned, it's something that we've looked at doing for quite a while. And we're very thankful that we have the opportunity. Even though we're still relatively small, we're growing. We know there's a lot of you guys that come in. You guys participate in chat. You ask us questions. And that's honestly what continues to drive us to put out this content and continue to get better. We know at the beginning some of our videos, they might be kind of cringy to watch, especially from our viewpoints. But we've just gotten better and better, and it's because of you guys. You've shown interest. You've kept us kind of on our toes, and you need us to perform at our best to keep putting out these videos for you guys. So hopefully after this Thanksgiving, we kind of come to a set schedule, and it's not just random videos, but we're going to try to continuously put out a format that we think is something that you guys will enjoy, that'll keep bringing you back to us, keep watching our videos. But that's really all I have. Like I said, happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to throw it back to Mason and Stone.
Before you get it out, Mason, I want to give a shout out to one of our viewers out there, AP21. He's always commenting on our videos, man. We love you, and I love responding to all your comments, man. Thank you so much for all that you show us. Really, we really love it, man. Now I'll let Mason take us out of here.
All right, much love, everybody. Fantasy Few out, baby. Let's go. Happy Thanksgiving.